They say that if you put a frog in boiling water, it will jump out. But if you put it in cold water and slowly turn up the heat, it won't notice until it's too late. My name is Eleanor, and for 25 years I didn't realize I was boiling. By all accounts, my husband Robert and I were the golden couple of our affluent Connecticut suburb. We met in college. I was studying art history, he was business. He was charismatic, driven, and had a smile that could disarm anyone. When he proposed, I happily stepped back from my budding career at a gallery to build his foundation. I raised our two wonderful, now adult sons. I hosted the dinner parties that charmed his clients. I kept our beautiful home spotless. At 53, I looked at my life and felt safe. We had paid off the mortgage 5 years ago. Our retirement portfolio, managed entirely by Robert, was robust, or so he always assured me with a pat on the hand. "Don't worry your pretty little head about numbers, Elle," he'd say. "That's my department. You just make everything look beautiful." And I believed him. Why wouldn't I? We were a team. Looking back, the signs were there for the last 3 years. The growing silence at dinner, the way he started locking his phone, a device that used to lie casually on the kitchen island, the sudden emergency business trips to the city on weekends. When I asked him if something was wrong, he'd sigh loudly, rolling his eyes. "God, Eleanor, are you hormonal? You're imagining things. You're getting so needy lately." He made me feel small. He made me feel crazy. I started taking anxiety medication because I truly believed I was the problem. Then came the Tuesday that shattered my world. I came home from grocery shopping to find 2 large suitcases by the door. Robert was standing in the hallway, checking his watch. He wasn't crying. He wasn't angry. He looked inconvenienced. "Eleanor, I'm leaving," he said, as casually as if he were announcing he was going to pick up dry cleaning. "I wasn't going to do this today, but I can't pretend anymore. I don't love you. I haven't for a long time. Our lawyers will talk." Before I could drop my grocery bags, he was out the door. 25 years ended in a 30-second monologue. The devastation wasn't immediate. It was a slow creeping numbness. But the real horror started 3 days later when I tried to pay the electric bill. The transaction was declined. I logged into our joint checking account. It had $42.18 in it. Panic, cold and sharp, pierced through my numbness. I called the bank. I logged into our investment portal. The passwords had been changed. I called Robert, straight to voicemail. I drove to his office in the city. The receptionist, a young woman who couldn't look me in the eye, told me Robert no longer worked there as of last Friday, and that he had relocated. It took 2 weeks and a very expensive forensic accountant, hired with borrowed money from my sister, to uncover the truth. Robert hadn't just left me for another woman, though he had. Her name was Jessica. She was 28, and she was his former executive assistant. The bigger betrayal was the math. Over the last 3 years, while he was gaslighting me into thinking I was paranoid, Robert had been systematically dismantling our life. He had remortgaged the house I thought was paid off, forging my signature. He had liquidated our retirement savings into offshore LLCs hidden under layers of shell companies. He left me at 53 with no career, massive debt on a house I couldn't afford, and a broken heart. I was a middle-aged cliché, discarded and destitute. The lowest point wasn't the day he left. It was 3 months later. I had to sell the house just to cover the debts he saddled me with. I moved into a tiny one-bedroom apartment that smelled faintly of someone else's cigarettes. I remember sitting on a cheap futon, eating ramen noodles because it was all I could afford. I was humiliated. My friends from my old life stopped calling. I think my misfortune made them uncomfortable. It reminded them that their security was an illusion too. Robert, meanwhile, was posting photos on Instagram from Bali with Jessica. They looked radiant. He looked 10 years younger. He was living off the money we had saved, enjoying the harvest of the garden I had tended for a quarter century. I felt a hatred so pure it frightened me. But beneath the hatred was something else. Clarity. For 25 years, I had been the good wife. The supportive, quiet, non-confrontational wife. And look where it got me. I realized that the Eleanor who let Robert handle the finances, the Eleanor who accepted his condescension, had to die in that apartment. If I was going to survive, I needed to become someone else. Someone I didn't recognize. Robert's arrogance was his Achilles heel. He thought I was stupid because I chose to be agreeable. He thought I wouldn't fight back because I never had before. He was sloppy. When packing up the big house, I found an old iPad tucked between mattress padding in the guest room. It was dead. I almost threw it away, but something stopped me. I charged it. It was still logged into an old email account Robert hadn't used in years, or so I thought. It turned out he used this account for the things he didn't want appearing on his primary phone. It was a goldmine. There were emails to Jessica dating back 4 years, but more importantly, there were emails to a shady financial advisor in the Cayman Islands. There were PDFs of wire transfers. There were digital fingerprints of the forgery he committed on the mortgage documents. He hadn't erased the trail. He just hid it where he thought the naive little wife would never look. I didn't scream. I didn't call him. I took the iPad to the toughest, meanest divorce attorney in the state, a woman known as the Barracuda. When she looked through the evidence, she actually smiled. "Eleanor," she said, "Robert didn't just cheat on you. He committed felony fraud and grand larceny. We aren't just going for alimony. We are going for everything." The legal battle lasted 2 years. It was grueling. Robert tried to intimidate me. He tried to charm me. He tried to claim I was mentally unstable and had planted the evidence, but the digital trail didn't lie. Today, 5 years after he walked out that door, I am finally free. The courts were not kind to Robert. The fraud charges meant he not only had to pay back every cent he stole, with interest and massive penalties, but he also faced probation and lost his CPA license. His reputation in the business world is vaporized. Last I heard, Jessica left him when the money dried up and the legal bills started mounting. As for me, I got a settlement that allowed me to buy a small, lovely condo outright. It's not a mansion, but it's mine. No one can take it away from me. I went back to school and got a certification in art appraisal, something I always wanted to do. I am single, I am 58, and I have never felt more secure. Sometimes I look at the scar tissue on my heart, and I still feel the ache of those 25 lost years. But then I remember the woman who sat on that futon eating ramen, terrified of the future. I am so proud of her. She didn't just survive the boiling water, she kicked the pot over and put out the fire. Ladies, never let anyone tell you not to worry your pretty little head about your own life, because the only person responsible for your rescue is you.